Thanks for tuning in. Today we are going to talk about rosé wine. What is the difference between rosé, pink, blush, white zinfandel? Mostly I just decided today because it's really sunny and I wanted to sit out in the garden, and what's better than a nice glass of pink. Firstly though, let's get something straight. Number one, rosé wine is not just for cute Instagram pictures. Boys, this wine is for you too. And it's not just for summer. This is such a versatile wine, and I'm really excited just to talk a little bit more about it. So what's the difference, firstly, between rosé, pink and blush? Nothing. So there you go, you've learned something already. They're all the same. As with anything in the wine industry, it's just there to catch you out. So they can all be anything from dry to sweet, and gives you a bit of an idea of the intensity. The colour's going to help. The darker the colour, the more intense flavours there's going to be. The other one that might help you a little bit is white zinfandel, the famous rosé that comes from America. That is using the zinfandel grape and is generally pretty sweet. That's an intense sweet one. I'm going to stay away from that. So having a look, today I have decided to buy Miraval rosé. I got in Sainsbury's for a few reasons. One, it was £16 instead of 19, so good bargain. Two, everyone loves a little story, and Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, when they were in love, bought this property. And three, this is a wine that you guys can get easily. Go out and touch on it. Before I taste it, I won't be long because I need to taste it in a minute. I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about how rosé wine is made so you can understand it. You can simply mix red and white together if you want a discombobulated wine. It does happen, not in Europe. The only place in Europe that is allowed to happen is with champagne, ironically. So such an amazing wine. Right at the end, they will add in some red juice. That's something slightly different. Then you have a few other options. You have just direct press, which is effectively you take the grapes, you put them in a vat, they're crushed slightly to let out some juice, and exactly as the name states, they are pressed immediately, just like white wine. That's what happens. So you're going to get something very light, not that intense in flavour. The other way, which is my personal favourite, what they 85% of producers in Provence, the famous region in France for making rosé, do, is a short maceration. So the grapes are crushed, they're put in a tank, and they are left anything from a few hours all the way up to 3 hours. It depends how much time the winemaker has. The more time on the skins, the more colour, the more flavour. It's completely, with a grape, grapes are clear on the inside, they're pale. So the colour of your wine is completely dependent on the skins. So it's the skin that makes all the difference. So a wine like this has not spent too much time. And when you get the really darker, really red wines almost, then they've spent probably up to 3 days on the skins. And that's a maceration. The other way to make wine is a controversial way. Some people like it, some people think it's a terrible way to make rosé. It's the saignée method, French term for bleeding, so spelled S-A-I-G-N-E-E. And I say that because on some bottles you'll actually see that written. It's sometimes nice to be able to understand what the wine is going to be before you buy it. If you see the saignée method, it will be a bolder, stronger, more intense rosé, often even sees a little bit of oak. Now the reason people don't often like the saignée method is bleeding means they bled it off of what was going to be a red wine. So the winemaker's already planned to make a red wine, and as a byproduct, he just took a little bit off and made some rosé as well. So for that reason, one, they tend to be bigger and stronger, and two, a lot of people don't like them. Completely up to you. There's no rules in the wine world. So let's have a try of this. So this is the Miraval 2017, which is currently in stock now. Do not worry about aging rosé. Rosé lasts 2 to 3 years. That makes it a bit cheaper than red wine as well. So it's fabulous for everyone. So let's have a little try. This comes from the Miraval estate in Provence. If you are not sure what kind of rosé to get, France, and you like dry, the way that rosé is typically known, France is a good place to start. Provence is known for being the most reliable, from the cheaper end all the way up to the most premium rosés. Other places you can try, the Rhone Valley, for instance, a region called Tavel, if you ever see that on the label, or even the Loire Valley. So sticking with France, but especially Provence, my favourite, is never going to do you wrong. Okay, so let's have a try. So if anyone wants to taste a note, we get it, and finally I get to taste it. So this is very light, very fresh, but still quite aromatic. You've got a nice little balance of kind of some strawberries and raspberries, but again, nothing too strong. And that kind of real freshness of watermelon as well. What's nice about it, it carries through the same flavours on the palate, but have any of you had the fruit salad sweets? I don't know if anyone used to have those chewy sweets. It's exactly like that. Dry and crisp as a wine though. Really refreshing, lovely acidity. My mouth is watering. But that exact flavour of a fruit salad sweet, if not, go find them. They must have them in the retro store still. Have to try them. It tastes like that. And it even has a little lick at the end of like pink peppercorn, or even slightly aniseedy. There's something a little spicy and herby. I think this is what I love about rosé wine. As I said, this is not just a summer wine. This is not just a girl's wine. This is a wine that you can have with sushi, with tapas, barbecue, pork, Indian food, salads, anything. The best thing when pairing wine, whatever the wine is, do something similar with the food. So this is a very light but very aromatic wine, so you want something similar, but it is so versatile. Lovely length, stays with you. This is a really well made wine, beautiful flavours. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy this. In fact, I have my partner cooking in the kitchen some salmon with a little bit of dill and some kind of pesto inspired potatoes. So I think I got it right. There's a little tasting note for you. So cheers, enjoy the rosé and enjoy this lovely weather.